This is Mike Rice, Man U supporter. A drinking game suggestion. Big Sam makes a point. Graham makes it about fucking Arsenal. You're listening to the DU Football Show.
I mean, I figure considering tonight's guest, we have to poke direct fun at Graham because this guest would agree. Why, yes, he does always make it about Arsenal.
Yeah, and it's a different version of pro Arsenal agenda we've got tonight, and we hit a lower demographic.
Yeah, well, you know, you got to find the age group. Let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Smells of a lord. Looks great in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the DU Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League as told by three common American schmucks. I'm your host, Sam Houston, and of course, while Mr. Graham is away on paternity leave, our good friend Hiram is with us. Hiram, it was a fairly darn good weekend for you. How about that?
I am loving this weekend.
You know,
well,
now,
aside from other sports, but that's it.
Well, if now you can only get them to do that consistently as opposed to the zeros they've been consistently doing.
You know what? One game at a time.
Oh, yeah, everything else is just rearview mirror.
Just one game at a time.
No. Also joining us tonight, the better Graham. My goalkeeping prodigy, which is driving her dad nuts. We have Mr. Graham's eldest. Teagan's with us tonight. How you doing, T?
I'm good. How
Excellent.
Are you?
Excited to do the show?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hitting you with the hard-hitting questions right off the bat. It's going to be a lot of fun, you know. It's you get to see how what it is your dad does, which really isn't that hard. On the ones and twos, we got producer Mel. Producer Mel, how are we doing?
I'm good. You know, at least we got a point. No Malort Monday, everybody.
Woohoo!
Except for Teagan.
Well,
just kidding.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I tell you, Mel, it's going to be very weird tonight because we got to try to do something.
This show would be better with less F words.
And minus like the 4 we've already had at the beginning of the show with Mike Rice's intro and Whiskey and the Kidney Stone song. But yes, we are going to we're going to try our darndest tonight. I think HR said we can get away with about 5 tonight. You know, so we just got to watch ourselves here.
Just 5?
Yeah.
Fucking A.
No, we're just wasting them. And well, and yes, yes, T.
Oh no, I was saying
Just
that's one.
That's one. Yeah. She could probably hear us say about 20 of those when her dad and I are sitting on the back porch drinking a bottle of whiskey. We are recording at the Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out wherever you get your podcast. And, of course, we normally stream live, but we're not tonight. But we'll be back next Monday streaming live again. Should you want to chat with us, there is many ways that you can. Hiram, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
You can reach us on our socials at DU Football Show on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, and more. Or you can also reach us on email at dufootballshow@gmail.
Yeah, there you go. You're not supposed to say that like a question.
I know,
You're
it's
supposed
like-
to say that like a statement.
You know what? I don't
Gmail?
trust myself.
Feeling your Ron Burgundy there.
You know, he
Have a
wanted
great night.
he wanted to say Hotmail.
Yeah.
Oh,
he
my
did.
gosh.
If we were going on brand, it would be AOL.
Just go for wide mail at that point.
And I work in the wine and spirit industry, but Hiram and Mel both have a deep, passionate love for alcohol, such as myself. And of course, Teagan is. Teagan, what are you enjoying tonight?
Root beer.
There we go, that a girl. And as the red-blooded Americans we are, we've got to have a drink in our hand throughout this show. And every single show, we are doing a bottle killer tonight. And this is a bottle killer.
Oh, I'm weeping, but if I'm going to
With
share it with somebody, at least it's Hiram.
Hiram told me he is a man of the agave, so we're going to go ahead and enjoy something. Why don't you tell us what we got here, Hiram?
We got us some tequila. Specifically, Jose Cuervo special edition bottle. It is a 2005 edition. It is a part of the Reserva de la Familia, I should say. Sorry, I said that in English. It is 80 proof. It is also coming in a special edition box, which is also commissioned by a Mexican artist that is hand painted. This case, it was hand painted by Bestabe Romero.
There you go. Words are fun.
It is. Yeah.
All right, let's get a sip in here, guys.
This thing is amazing. I'm sad we're killing the bottle. I'll be happy when I have another treasured bottle like this, because we've been holding on this for almost 18 years.
Yeah, about 18, 19 years.
This was the first nice bottle of alcohol you bought me.
Yes, it was.
And it is so smooth. Like when you smell it, you can smell the barrel and the salt and the taste. It's the best fucking tequila I've ever had.
And there's two, and I haven't even said one yet.
I don't think smelling the salt out of something is that good. Because isn't it there's a lot in there?
No, there isn't necessarily salt, but agave has a bit of a selenial kind of smell to it, so it's going to have a little bit of a
Sounds
saline.
like a generation.
So a little bit. Also, it has a little bit of pepper.
Saltwater taffy. You can kind of smell, even though it's not
I love saltwater
salty,
taffy.
but it's got that kind of aroma to it.
Yeah.
Someone that wasn't an amateur like me probably would have said the mineral content or something douchey, but
My dad.
yeah, they would have, absolutely would have corrected me on that one. But I smell,
salinity.
a little bit of salt, a little bit of wood, and it's so perfect.
I get a little spicy pepper, not maybe necessarily a jalapeno, but like a serrano. Like there's a little bit of peppery spice to it as well.
It's not like a mezcal though.
No. That would be a little more smoky.
Yeah.
This is
It's soft.
an extra añejo. So as we've already kind of discussed and you're familiar with, there's Blanco Reposado, which means no more than 11 months. That stands for rested, is what Reposado means. Añejo is aged. It's typically up to 1 year. Extra añejo is anything over that. Reserva de Familia means this is the family that actually picks these barrels to make a blend, and they proof it down to 80 proof. The reason why they proof it down to 80 proof is there is upwards of 20-year-old tequila in here. And that's something, it doesn't sound as impressive when you're talking about whiskey, but whiskey is stored in a much colder environment. Mexico's hot all the time. There's a lot of evaporation.
Right.
That's going to give you very, very little bit of that old whiskey. That's really because of the amount of evaporation. That also means with the lack of water, it's more concentrated flavors. So you need to proof it down to 80 proof, because otherwise it would taste like ink. Because think of it like extract, right? It's like you have to kind of open it up a little bit with some water. But yeah, this bottle now, you can't find it. When I bought it, it was $1.25. If you find it online, it's going to run you about $7,000 in the secondary market. And it's simply because it doesn't exist. They made 14,000 bottles of this for the world. That was all.
I could genuinely say this is the only bottle of Jose that I genuinely like.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's really good. It's just so good. I can't really say more of that.
And then what it looks like we're drinking out of looks like little champagne glasses. These are actually Riedel glasses that are specifically designed for tequila. Now, what it is that offers is a lot of times whenever you smell a spirit, like whenever we're doing whiskey and like one of those tumbler glasses, remember I've told you to always kind of hold it under your nose and breathe it in and out of your mouth, or else you would get a lot of that ethanol. This is kind of glass. You can just shove your nose right in.
No, I can sit.
And you don't get any of that gassy ethanol, because the way the glass is designed to kind of put the proper aromas towards your nose as opposed to the unpleasant ones. And then the way it kind of cradles the spirit and the way you drink it, it helps stop with the burn that you get on your tongue as well.
Yeah, I noticed like it was like very slight to little burn at all with this, but this is... I love you, man.
My pleasure. And what do we always have to do, kids?
Please drink responsibly.
Cheers. And they cling really nicely too.
Oh, yeah.
The top of the table belongs to London. Pardon me, North London. Bitter rivals both get 1-0 victories in very different fashions. Tottenham won, Luton Town 0. Arsenal 1, Manchester City 0. Yes, T, right off the jump?
I hate Tottenham's away kit. It is disgusting.
Is it gray? Is it pink? Is it purple?
Pink.
I don't know what the... Like, you look at it, every time you look at it, it looked like a different pale color of nothing.
It looked like you put way too much milk in coffee. Like, it was just gross. Like, I don't like it.
Well, also, let's face it, who do you support?
Arsenal.
So you hate everything about Spurs already.
Of course.
A 10-man Spurs side gets it done, and now finds themselves sitting in first place, only divided by the second tiebreaker, goals for. That was an ugly match, man.
Terrible.
You want to keep? I'll let you speak as the We Hate Tottenham Club supporter for sure.
Yes. I think the first couple of shots for Charleston, I don't like him. I'll be honest, straightforward. I don't really care for him. I don't know why. He irks me. But
is it the pigeon dance?
No, it's his face, his nose. I don't like him. I don't know why. He just irks me.
You know, he used to play for my team, right?
I don't care.
Okay. I'm just letting you know.
You shouldn't like him either.
No, I like him because he helped keep my team up.
He should have. I feel like of the first shots he had, he should have made.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, I don't think he had any control over, but still, come on, like,
right?
You know, he had really easy opportunities and he still missed, and I think, come on,
right? I would say this is Luton doing what Luton's been doing, which is just try to absorb the pressure and hope that it works out for him. And then it kind of does, because Yves Bissouma, the first yellow card, okay, fine. Yeah, it's a yellow. It is what it is. You're sitting on a yellow. You're driving at goal. And then you decide to dive. Are you that stupid? Like, are you seriously that stupid? Like, don't give the ref a decision to make, and he flat out gives the ref a decision to make, and then is surprised when he gets a second yellow and gets sent off.
I'm more thrown off by the fact that Tottenham pretty much had to have a tough battle with Luton Town, especially because they've been they're clear as day going to be bottom of the table no matter what, even if they got the win or not. Sorry, Sam.
Yeah, it's fine.
But even still, like, to think that someone's still top of the table and doing the best that they can to pretty much stay at that top, which is very rare for Tottenham because, again, what are their trophies looking like anyway? It's still surprising to see that Luton's able to keep up with this intensity, especially with a top table team like Tottenham. But I don't know.
Obviously, the sending off didn't help. No. And what Tottenham had to do was shift the way they were playing. But man, oh man, how brilliant is Maddison? It's insane what he's able to do.
He's been, and I've said this throughout the show before, he's probably been like the best signing or the best addition to the team that made them become that top level player.
Oh yeah, so far he's
he's
he's the best signing. And it's interesting because you think about like the last time when it was Harry Kane and Dele Alli, it was right after they had sold Gareth Bale. And that kind of was the 1-2 punch. And now you're not really sure who the striker is going to be. Is it going to be Richarlison? Is it going to be Son? Is it going to be Kulusevski? Is it going to be Johnson? Like, who's it going to be? But the one thing is for sure, the playmaker behind him is James Maddison, and he's freaking delightful. He knows exactly what he needs to do. And that goal is, I think the defender was just like shocked that the ball landed on his foot and he got to put it away so easily, because that was all Maddison that made that play happen.
Again, like, that's back to what your statement about like how like Dele Alli and Kane were pretty much like the 1-2 punch. Like Son and Maddison are that new 1-2 punch, which is why like in 17-18 they made it as far as they could to the Champions League and potentially be the Premier League winners for that season. But that's the main thing that they're missing. Even though they may have had a struggle of the game, they barely came up with the win with this one, at least.
And Luton is completely hapless unless you get to play at Goodison, of which they only get to play at Goodison once. So Luton, enjoy the one victory, because I'm, again, go back to what I said shows ago. Please tell me where they're going to beat someone. Maybe Sheffield? At home? Maybe?
Have they played Bournemouth yet?
No, they haven't played Bournemouth yet, but I think Bournemouth beats them. I think Bournemouth's better.
I don't think so.
Okay, fair enough.
That most Bournemouth might get a draw, but I think Luton still has that edge over them, though.
Okay, fair enough. I don't see where they're going to get it. And I had this question originally written, but I guess I must have deleted it. Do we think Spurs are legit title contenders? T?
No.
No? Okay. Is that just because your Arsenal is showing, or you're just not convinced by them?
Well, I mean, both. Because, like, I would say no either way. But I don't think they are. Because I think that without Harry Kane. I think that the whole team is a bit iffy about what they're going to do moving forward, but they have Son, and I think he's awesome. Like, even though I don't like Tottenham, I really like him.
He's an inspiration to the children. The children.
I hate doing that, even though I'm a Chelsea fan, but still, I like Son though. I
think he's great, but I think that they have a good chance at top 4, as they've probably been doing for the past while.
Well, this year they're not in Europe, but but you're right. Yes,
but no, not. Never mind.
I got you.
But yeah, so I don't think they have a chance for a title.
But you think they're going to finish top 4?
Yes.
Yeah. Hiram, your thoughts?
I agree, but I disagree with the part because they're not being a title contender with is because of the loss of Harry Kane. Only because they could get it. They could have gotten it done with Harry Kane numerous of times.
And they just never did.
Exactly. But that's also because I think they don't have the right playmaker in the same shape and mold that Maddison is in right now. Sure, they had Dele Alli, but then again, he was young. He was that I guess in this case, the young hot freshness for Spurs.
Right.
But at the same time, though, he wasn't fully committed to be like that true number 10 for Spurs. Whereas I think Maddison is more suited for that role and can definitely carry them to a different position. Yes, he did come from Norwich and Leicester, but at the same time, he pretty much was carrying that team to somewhat stay afloat. Minus last season, of course.
Right.
But then again, I do see them being at least top 2.
Okay, fair enough. I would say, for me, I compare this team, and Spurs fans are going to hate it, and Gunner fans are going to hate it, but this is Arsenal 3 years ago. They greatly reduced the age of their team, right? They getting rid of Lloris and not having Højbjerg, or, they're just they've moved away from older players and they've replaced them all with younger players. They still have holes that they need to improve upon. I think their defense is one of the major things they need to improve upon.
Agreed.
I think this team will have staying power for only so long. And eventually the pressure of what the league is will get to them. And you had with this Arsenal team 3 years ago, ended up finishing in 5th place, just finished just outside of the Champions League spots. But they were young and they were impressive. And we were all like, wow, watch that team. And then what happened last year, they almost won the whole damn thing. And that's what I kind of see with Spurs is this. It's good. It's not there yet. I think they're probably 4th. I think they'll be in the discussion for quite a while. And then around December, January, they'll fall off a little. And I think it's ultimately still going to be the Arsenal Man City race. That's who I really ultimately think it is still.
Can I add one more thing?
Yeah, sure.
I will say the only main factor as to why that statement may be false is because they're not in Europe. That's the only reason why they'll stay afloat.
But comparing again to that Arsenal team wasn't in Europe.
Fair.
There's just, it's different when you haven't been there before. At the start of the season, you're young and stupid and you don't know any better. And then as the season goes on, you go, oh shit, we might have a chance. And then every game starts to go through your brain and every mistake starts to go through, and you just watch them and they just go, oh yeah. Last year we were saying about Newcastle, they were sitting in 2nd place there for a while. We're like, yeah. Now they hung on and they still got Champions League, but you were like, you saw them fall off because they hadn't been there before. And being there is just different. It just plays different for teams, That's true. There's a reason why so many big 6 sides are constantly when you talk about when Chelsea wins titles or City wins titles or United or Arsenal win titles, it's like they know how to do it because they've been there. It's what makes Leicester so incredible. Is because for no good reason, they should not have won the title.
No.
Someone should have eventually caught them, and they just didn't, which was incredible. Let's move it on to, I'm sure, something Teagan would much rather talk about, Arsenal and City. But got to start off right off the bat. This match was dog shit. It was an ugly match. It was it was a fun match to watch because of the chess match that it was Pep, Arteta, Arsenal, City. But it was not a good game.
No, it wasn't. Raya, he's good.
Yeah.
To an extent.
I wrote it right here in the notes.
He was lucky.
Great minds, T. Great minds.
He was lucky that I think City scored twice, but they didn't count. Or was it once?
Once, and it didn't get counted. But he also gave it away twice.
It was he's lucky they didn't count, because I think if it did count, they might have lost the game.
Oh God, yeah. If they well, especially that goal that got taken away was early in the match too. That completely changes the complexion of the game.
I don't know if he was nervous. I don't know what was going on, but I was like, I've watched past games. Like, you're better.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Sometimes keepers will try to do too much.
I know.
That's the problem, you know?
Because I have like friends in some of my classes that are Man City fans. I was like, and they're the most obnoxious fans, football fans I've ever met are Man City fans.
You know,
and Everton fans.
What's that?
And Everton
Oh,
fans.
thanks. I appreciate that. She gave me big eyes looking at me all like, yeah, I'm you remember that. Okay. You remember that. Yeah. Raya flat out almost gave the game away early on. You've been watching the team all season. Do you think Raya or Ramsdale, who do you think's who should be the number one?
Always number one in my heart will be Aaron Ramsdale. Because he's my favorite goalkeeper. Low-key. Not because he's just an Arsenal. I just like the way he works. Like, he seems like he has a good work ethic. And I feel like he doesn't let a lot of stuff get into his head, because I feel like that's important with goalkeepers.
Yeah.
He does that. But his name's David. Yeah.
David,
he doesn't seem like he's in the flow yet. Like, he's great. I like him a lot. But I think that they should have given him more time. Well, because I think Ramsdale's not done. He's not.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, they're trying to build competition between the two is the big thing.
I do think Aaron Ramsdale is better, and I like him better.
I'm going to take a little something from the desk for the Peacock crew. They put out the question, is it as simple as City didn't have Rodri? And everybody at the table answered the same thing, and we're all shaking our heads. Yeah, Rodri's that damn important to Manchester City, isn't he?
And I mentioned this to Teagan earlier too, is because one, you're already missing De Bruyne as from the most of the season, the first half of the entire season already. Haaland he has been putting 8 goals in, but he's still not putting the same as work as he has been in the past season. But without Rodri, he's pretty much like that new playmaker for them, especially in that holding spot. And then pretty much just like that moving piece to everything in the offense. It's pretty much like everyone's looking lost there.
Big credit to Saliba and Gabriel. They shut him down. That is the first time I've seen somebody take Erling Haaland out of a game so far since he's been in the Premier League.
I thought Dawson, when they played against Wolves, almost did too.
Yeah.
Even to an extent, but not to the same level as Saliba and Gabriel.
No, yeah, definitely not. So the goal finally happens. Martinelli comes on as the sub, puts it in the face of Nathan Ake. That looked like that shot was still on target, though, didn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that was going to be. How excited were you guys seeing that goal?
I mean, so I was at my soccer tournament.
Yes, I know that.
My dad was watching it from the sideline, not paying attention to me, but the game. But I watched the highlights, and I think I caught the tail end of the game in the car, and I was excited because it looked like a great goal. Yeah. I was happy. I was like, okay, they won. No matter if it was like a bad call or not, if it was a call at all, it's still my team, and I'm going to support it either way. They won, and that's what matters.
So I just got to say, how does it feel being the eldest, his firstborn child, that, he comes to your soccer game, and he's watching Arsenal and not paying one damn bit of attention to you?
To be fair, if you guys ever start playing soccer again together, I'm probably not going to pay any attention.
Okay, fair enough.
I will probably record a bit if
you got to come and laugh
happens. Right.
For the joke of it all.
And use it against you in the show. But I probably wouldn't pay any attention. And I know he'll pay attention to like my younger sisters, but then once I get older, he's going to be like, I've seen the same thing. And
I'm producing this show and I'm hardly paying attention.
Teagan, you got to use that to your advantage. You want a puppy. New car. use that. Be like, well, Father, you don't pay any attention to me while I'm playing soccer, so I think to win back my affection, you must buy me a car I will be driving in a few years.
As a goalkeeper, there's not much to see sometimes. So.
Very true. Very true. A lot of standing and doing nothing and then suddenly being blamed for everything.
Yeah.
You're learning the way, my Padawan learner. You're learning the way. It's finally monkey off the back, right? For the Gunners. The 12 times in the league, they have lost to City. Arteta's first win over Pep in the league. Do we now see like a real title fight? Do we think Arsenal's got a chance here?
I see a three-way dance for sure. It'll be similar to last season, but as far as the final stretch, that's where we again determine like who is like the true winner. And like I said before, it'll be between Spurs, it'll be Arsenal and City. Would I include Liverpool in that? Not now, but if things pick up for them, maybe. But at the same time, it's still going to be a tough race between those three.
I think Liverpool's in the discussion. I think they're going to be in that, top four. I think those are the four teams playing Champions League next year. Yeah. Being honest. This, again, talking about how you progress as a team, Arsenal, young team, just misses out on Champions League. The next year, in first place all season, lose it at the end. This is, if you're following the progression right, this is the time. This is it. And I think we've seen with City, while they're an incredibly talented team and there is depth, some of that depth still hasn't been bedded in. They don't have Rodri. And you have the exact same player in Calvin Phillips sitting on the bench, not getting a single minute. That says something. They're not there yet.
It's been like that last season too.
Right. They're not there yet. And if there's certain pieces missing, they might put themselves in too big of a hole to come out of, T, what do you think? Do you think this is Arsenal's year?
Of course. I mean, I would say like finally, because I think that they deserve a title. I mean, of course, they're my team. I want them to win, but we'll find out later in the season because I feel like they were great until December and January, and then you could see they got tired and they fell off. But then,
between the ears too.
Well, yeah,
you feel the footsteps behind you, like when I used to play golf with Graham, and he would come roaring out to a big lead, and then by the 15th hole, I would just slowly a stroke, and by the 18th hole, he's yelling and angry and mad, and I got a 5-stroke lead.
Sounds like my father.
Yeah, it does sound like your father.
And then I bet he was bragging all until you got to the 5-stroke lead, whatever you just said.
You know your father well, Teagan.
Oh, yeah.
You know your father well. I'll explain that to you later, Teagan. 2 massive wins for, quote, Big Six sides that are desperate to be back in the conversation of the elites. Manchester United 2, Brentford 1, Chelsea 4, Burnley 1. Bees literally control this entire match, only to be outdone in Fergie time, which I didn't know existed anymore, but apparently with the new world of added time, it does, by Scott McTominator. Again, this was a dog shit match. Yeah. This was not a very good. It was literally good for the last 8 minutes. That was it. It was not a fun match to watch, but Brentford did exactly what they were supposed to do. They went into Old Trafford. They made it tough. They got their goal, and then they made it ugly. And they did exactly what they were supposed to do.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna ask this to both of you guys. Do you think United deserved that win?
Oh God, no. God, no, they didn't. Brentford were the better side. Brentford deserved to win. Yeah.
And it bothers me because, one, United came back and won and made it 2-1 out of fucking, it's out of nothing.
That was number 3, everybody. Note, I still haven't said one yet. Yes.
Keyword yet.
You're not wrong.
But it's still like, how are United not be able to get out of this funk and still manage to get to this point where they had to come back from Brentford? Not to disrespect Brentford at all or give them no regard to what they are, but at the same time, Brentford hasn't been playing to the high level that they claimed to be from last season, I guess.
We hate on the show. It's okay.
Well, no, but still.
She knows.
I mean, it's in her blood though, so she always hates.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
But still,
now all I got going through my head is Buck Nasty. We're at the haters ball. Buck Nasty, you're the most despicable villain.
I just don't get how they're still able to fight in this, like you said, this terrible match that pretty much was like dull until like the final 8 minutes or so.
Well, and they show nothing, and it seems like Ten Hag doesn't have an answer to fix things. This felt more like luck than anything else. T.
When I was writing my notes, I had to watch the highlights, and this was the game I almost fell asleep on. The first half, Man United was like asleep. Literally, I didn't see
like you
it wasn't
watching the highlights.
quite literally. I was like okay, and then the last couple minutes of highlights, I was like, okay, cool, but it was like why y'all winning? Like, it didn't look good for y'all.
They didn't
They
didn't deserve that at all.
That's what I have written for the second comment is, did this really solve anything? And should they really be celebrating that victory?
Only because they're celebrating only because it happened at Old Trafford. That's it.
Yeah. You're Manchester United. You should be doing better than this. Like, you're the gold standard of football clubs around the world. Like, you're the brand name. You are arguably bigger than Madrid and Barcelona.
I was about to say they're probably like top 3 in the world.
The biggest brand in the world, and you've been a mess since Sir Alex has left the club. And it seemed like last year Ten Hag had gotten things going in the right direction, and then it's all falling apart.
Sir Alex
Ferguson was the initial was the longtime head coach of the team, and that's who Wenger always had his battles with.
Yeah,
he's knighted. So Sir Alex Ferguson.
Okay.
So anyone who ever gets knighted, you refer to them as Sir from that point on.
Like the dude, I forgot. I think it was like the drummer for Queen or whoever it was. I don't remember. But yeah.
Yes.
And Elton John.
Yep, Elton John, Sir Elton John.
I love Elton John.
Yeah, well, your dad's a big Elton John
I know.
fan, and your grandpa was a big Elton John fan as well.
I know.
Yeah, this, like I said, it just didn't feel like this really accomplished anything. And I see you like United supporters like losing their mind, and it was like, dude, you should be kind of embarrassed.
Well, yeah, they're going out of their mind because they got to win finally after how many games of draws and losses, though.
Yeah. Here's the funny thing. Despite dominating the entire first half, Chelsea find themselves level at 1-1, and they didn't score a damn goal.
Yeah. A goal's a goal. I'll take it whatever I can get.
Yeah, it was an own goal. A very unfortunate own goal, too. It was just the way the Burnley defender got in front of the ball and it hit his leg, and it just kind of like Trafford was right there to make the save. And it just whoop, right over his head. And you could see the whole Burnley team just go, oh, shit. As it just went into the net. But I can tell you this. That goal caused by who? Raheem Sterling. Who was the one-man wrecking crew the entire day for you guys?
Raheem Sterling.
It was all him. Every goal. Even the goal he didn't have an assist. Or, like, he was responsible for all 4. He was incredible.
I want to know where you guys would be if you didn't have him. Because I watching the highlights, I was just like, he was always where the ball was. He was always doing something that would help his team win or do something. I'm like, you're everywhere.
I'll be honest. If he wasn't with the squad, if we had the current squad that we have now, but without Sterling, I think the ball would be played more through Palmer than it would Sterling for sure. Mm-hmm. Only because like he, similar to like with Spurs, like he's like that main playmaker. He's the one who makes all the drives to get the ball into the net. But at the same time, we don't have that structure yet. That's why I said earlier, one game at a time. We're still working through the pieces.
Well, nice. Palmer gets a goal.
Yeah.
Jackson gets a goal. Like, the right people are scoring. It seemed to really click well, which is funny because I want to take this and kind of pose the same comparison with United. Mm-hmm. This somehow feels like this is the game that jumpstarts your season.
Well, we also said that about the match against Brighton
Right.
in the not FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, which pretty much sparked like these 3 recent games with like Brighton. Then that led to Fulham, and then this week against Burnley. But it started something. But again, I don't want to put too much expectation on it because again, after this break, we have you guys, we have Arsenal,
right?
That's going to be the start of a very long, tough stretch of like literally. I think the announcers say like we face like all the 9 teams that was top 9 last season.
Right.
So
well,
that's
with the exception of Liverpool because you guys already played them at the start of the
Right.
season. But yeah,
But
I'm with you.
even still, like that stretch is going to be probably our hardest stretch throughout the entire season, only because that proves, do we belong to be not even just in top 5 contention? Do we even belong to be in top 10?
Well, it felt like you guys have had opportunities. You just haven't put the ball in the net, and finally it happened.
Yeah.
So again, it feels different than what United did. United, it felt kind of sloppy and clunky, and somehow they got a W. With yours, it felt like performed, and it feels like the team is working together, not against one another. And it just, for me, both big wins, but for some reason yours just felt different.
Only because, one, we didn't have to come from behind to do it. 2, it's because we're behind the scenes, we're more structured than United, because United's still dealing with their issues with Ten Hag and Sancho, the Anthony issues, and then even Onana pretty much like trying to get his stuff together as far as being an informed keeper in the Prem. We're more structured behind the scenes. We just got to find that same structure on the pitch, though. That's the only thing.
Fair enough. And hey, look, it was 4 more goals than you pretty much scored all of September. Rounding out the rest of the league. And so that happened. Everton 3. Hold on. Wait, did I read that right? Everton 3, Bournemouth 0. Yeah. We scored 3 goals? Here's my first one. How the fuck did that happen? Fulham 3, Sheffield 1, Palace 0, Forest 0, Brighton 2, Liverpool 2, West Ham 2, Newcastle 2. Whole lot of draws here. Villa 1, Wolverhampton 1. For the Toffees, you've been seeing this all season. They've been getting opportunities. They just haven't been scoring. The difference was they scored. That's really it. They played this way against Wolves, lost 1-0. They played this way against Fulham, lost 1-0. They didn't play this way against Luton. They played like crap against Luton. But you've seen it, and it's just finally, they scored damn goals.
Yeah, and before I move on, I'll just say we're at number 4 now. So
Okay, well, number 4 total, but my first one.
yeah,
I reserved it for the right spot.
keyword yet. So there's the yet.
Yeah.
No, you guys definitely seem to finally get something in for that one match. But again, Bournemouth haven't been proven to be a good defensive team. Mind you, this is coming from me, the team who didn't even score against them yet. But at the same time, like, Bournemouth hasn't proved to be a defensive side at all.
I mean, let's face it, the first 2 goals were direct results of Bournemouth coughing up the ball.
Yeah.
Especially the first one that Garner scored. A great goal by him. Good composure, especially because he dribbled the ball down the middle and then has Decore to one side, Calvert-Lewin to the other, and basically just froze. Like the defender kept going backwards. And we talked about this. When a defender comes back at you as a goalie, the further they come back, the less you see of the ball. And Adam Cook just kept kind of going back. And it wasn't really much Neto could do because he didn't see the ball until it passed Cook, and really nicely slotted home. You're right. The Cherries are an absolute mess.
Yeah.
And they get Adams back, and then Adams gets hurt last week. And they've got really good talent up top, like Solanke, Treviner, and Billing. They can all put the ball in the back of the net. They know what they're doing. There ain't nobody to get them the damn ball. Like, if they don't have anybody in the midfield getting them the opportunities, how are they supposed to score goals?
Which is why I said this is the team that Luton Town beats outside of you guys at Goodison. But that's it, though.
Yeah. And also worth noting, Everton's first win at home this season. They've already had 5 matches at home, and this is the first one they actually won. Teagan, did you even watch the highlights? Do you even care about Uncle Sam at all? No?
I mean, my dad told me to deny the story about the Everton wand. Because I'm surprised you haven't said anything yet. Do you know about this?
No, this is the first I'm hearing
Okay,
about this.
it never happened.
It absolutely happened.
And
I
we
have pictures.
We have photographic evidence.
Me, being the lovely, creative, artistic Mel that I am,
Of course.
was going over to, was it Rob's house?
Yeah, it was Rob's house.
To watch a match.
It
And,
was Everton, Arsenal.
Teagan and Haley were very young girls at the time, and I brought them presents
Oh.
I made them fairy wands that just happened to be Everton themed.
It never happened.
And we have a picture of her holding that wand in her hand. And, I wouldn't have even
Grinning
brought it
ear
up.
to ear, and both dads, because they're not about to take these wands from their children that are so happy.
Haley dropped hers, and Rob kicked it underneath the couch, and she was crying looking for it. And Rob was like, I don't know where it is. Let me get you something else to play with, sweetheart. Her running around just,
Remember that one time I said I liked Liverpool just to make you and my dad mad?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Not anymore.
Good times, good times.
Fulham also finally get goals, including all the goals, because Sheffield's only goal was an own goal. A little bit of a theme with a bunch of own goals this weekend. For Fulham, there's plenty of talent, but it's like, who's going to put the ball in the net? And it's nice to see that there were people who finally did that. The Blades just seem to be sleepwalking. I don't even think they care. Like, that's why I think Luton could beat them, because at least Luton tries.
Yeah. I don't know. With Sheffield, it's kind of a mixed bag with them almost. Even though, yeah, they haven't won a match yet, but it's still like a mixed bag as far as like whether or not they seem like the other team to, of course, be beaten by Luton. As far as this, yeah, they pretty much were just like, okay, we're here. What now?
Right. Precisely. Precisely it. T, did you watch much of this one at all? Fulham and Sheffield?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any thoughts? Looks like you weren't impressed.
No. I mean, granted, also I was half asleep, but
Did you sleepwalking watching this?
Yeah, probably. It was. There's decent games, there's great games, and then there's games like this. We're just like,
And at least that game had 4 goals, because the next one had none. Palace and Forest. Both sides were missing key players. Woney for Forest and Eze for Palace. And boy, could you tell that they were missing their prime players. A handful of chances at most. I mean, this game really doesn't even worth being talked about. Teagan, you were telling me in the car that you almost fell asleep after minute 6 of the highlights.
I did.
The normal package, a normal package of highlights goes about 13 minutes.
Sadly.
7. This highlight package was 7. So all you had to do was last 60 more seconds and you would have made it through those highlights.
I couldn't.
Unfortunately, those 60 seconds would have shown you exactly what you had already seen. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
There was an there wasn't even like equal it was equal possession.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like anything, one team was doing great, the other was falling back. No. It was like both teams are just meeting each other's like zombie energy. Like
Yeah.
they weren't doing nothing.
Yeah, they were just going, tag, you're it. Tag, you're it. No, tag, you're it. No, tag, you're it. That was it. Just, yes, very good. Zombie energy. Well said. I like that. As we talked about a lot of the games like Arsenal and City and United and Brentford not really being very good matches, Brighton and Liverpool was a fantastic match.
Oh, yeah.
That was back and forth, man.
I'm happy that was level.
Mm-hmm.
One, because forget Liverpool.
Right.
2, I'm glad Brighton is doing the way they are, especially because like if you guys want to make a joke about it, they are our feeder club. So let's be real about that. Right. But also, Brighton is literally proven to be like that next Newcastle in the sense, only because like they are becoming that team that may be under the radar, but still like the team that you definitely need to be on the lookout for.
Well, and they went up 1-0. Mo Salah, just, man, guy still got it. Even with all the talk of him maybe going out to Saudi Arabia, what does he do? Brace. Just does what he does, man. It's just, that's one of those kind of guys, and I've talked about this before. Like, I'm an Everton supporter. I hate everything about Liverpool.
Yeah.
Really hard to hate Mo Salah. He dives a little, yeah, but everybody dives a little. Yeah. Like, he just gets it done. No, he didn't get it done for you guys, but, he eventually moved on to Liverpool and got it done there.
You see where my disdain is at, right?
Yeah, but I mean, it's like the teething racist, Luis Suarez. It was easy to hate him.
Oh, yeah, he bites everyone.
Prick. Like, it was easy. And like, Mo, like, people say some like really intolerant stuff to him, and he just sits down on the field and prays after he scores. Just like, I got you.
I'll be real. Salah definitely is more humble and more of a more likable person than Suarez. Suarez pissed off a whole continent.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. And the other funny thing is De Zerbi gets a yellow card. And again, the man who has ran onto the pitch and hugged a player, the man who has screamed in other officials' faces, this is now a count for me. I'm going to keep watching. Jurgen Klopp still has not gotten a yellow card this season. And it looked like they're going to get away with it. They really did. And then...
In my way downtown, walking fast, I'm a seagull, go fuck yourself.
And that was number 5.
I mean, I'll ask again, are we surprised that he doesn't get any discipline for this at all?
No, not one bit. Not one bit. But
he's still complaining to the, was it Pigmall office or whatever?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, that's what he does. It's what he does. But he's got shiny veneers, so everybody loves him.
I mean, can we get a replay?
Well, as Mel likes to always point out, they did have to play 2 teams, Brighton and Hove Albion. So it was tough for them. But this has definitely become the Reds' bogey team. Like Liverpool seems to not be able to beat this team. And normally Brighton wins.
Yeah.
But again, it was just a fantastic match. And following up with yet another great match, West Ham and Newcastle was fantastic game.
I am impressed by Isaac. He definitely, I didn't see much from him all season because it's been mainly like the Callum Wilson show. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad he's actually proving okay, no, I know there's competition here. Let me step up. Let me put the ball in the back of the net. And he's done that so far. And he was honestly, one of them was definitely a tap in, and it was easy goal for him. I was actually very shocked how close the margin was for him being on or offside. Mm-hmm. But even still, I'm glad he performed the way he did. And then kudos with that late game winner. Or late game
equalizer,
I should say. Sorry.
Yeah, well, we talked about this with Alan last week. Isaac started the season as striker, wasn't scoring goals, so they switched to Callum Wilson. Now you switch back to Isaac. You're creating competition, and that's what you need. You need 2 strikers hungry to be on the pitch, because every time they're hungry to be on the pitch, they're going to find goals. That's exactly what's going to happen. And this is Newcastle. I think the daunting schedule will get to them. I think they might get into Europe. They might find themselves in a 8th place spot, because teams like Villa, and although they beat Villa, teams like Villa and Brighton aren't going nowhere. And suddenly West Ham's figured it out again. Everybody kind of talks about last season for David Moyes and how the season didn't go well, but at least they won Europe, yada, yada, yada. David Moyes' teams are consistently 8th place.
Yeah.
His entire tenure at Everton, they were somewhere between 5th and 8th every single year. With West Ham, with the exception of last year, they've been between 5th and 8th every single year. He is only behind Sir Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger for winning percentage in the English Premier League.
Wow.
Yeah. And he's quietly consistent, man. Just the old ferryman, just quietly consistent in what he does.
Is it... Now, I'm going to take this with a grain of salt and mainly just say, is it weird for me to think that they might not even finish top 8, maybe 9th or 10th in this season?
I say it's not impossible to think that, but I'm looking at all the teams around them, and I feel like they're at least one of the best 8 teams, because last year you had Fulham and you had Brentford in that discussion. I don't think either one of them are in that discussion for 9th or 10th this year. And, maybe your guys have a good season and finish in 10th place.
That's honestly. So here's what I'm thinking. You take those 2, Fulham and Brentford, out and pretty much replace those with United and Chelsea.
Yeah.
I feel like those 3 will pretty much be in that race for either the 8th, maybe 7th spot at most.
Yeah, well, 7th is still Europe, so everybody's going to try their damnedest to at least get to Europe, of course.
Yeah.
All right, producer Mel, let's bring you in for this one. The kind of Birmingham derby, because your rivals both play in the championship.
I can't be mad because we drew, but I really feel disappointed about the last 25 minutes of the match.
Shocker. The Wang does it again.
Dude,
Gets the breakthrough.
Can't be mad at that one either.
Yeah, which is funny because
He's a handsome wing, too. I mean, really good looking.
yeah. So he scores, but you guys immediately answer. I mean, within a minute,
Yeah.
you guys equalize, and it's a derby, you know, for what it's worth. It's a Birmingham derby, and your two teams don't like each other, and you play very aggressive and tough, and that
I
second
was surprised at how many cards did not come out.
yeah, and that's considering Lerma got sent off for a second yellow, which on him, just again, when you're already on a yellow and it's in the middle of the field, that's the
Yeah.
thing. It's in the middle of the field. Why are you grabbing his jersey in the middle of the field? It means nothing. It means nothing at all. Why, you know?
Yeah, honestly, that match should have been 2-1 because there was a penalty. We were denied, and I don't know who wasn't looking at it, how that wasn't textbook, but it was in the box right there from the goal.
Oh, full hand.
Watkins' foot is back, ready to hit the ball right into the goal when the Wolf guy just pushes him down.
And also couple that with the fact that Ollie Watkins at the death put one off the post, a free header.
Yeah, well, I mean, that foul was so obvious at the second it happened. We were all like, oh, well, there we go. We're going to get a penalty. And it was like, wait a minute, why aren't you stopping the game? What's going on? Where's the flag? Where's the VAR? Where's fudge?
And if you took the over of 5 and you said over 5
Yeah.
F words, let's go ahead and include Mr. Graham's thoughts on this.
Fuck VAR.
I agree.
What was that, T?
I agree.
Very good. Did you watch the highlights for this one?
Yeah, I didn't want to make producer Mel sad.
Thank you.
Got hard hands for that one. That's very lovely.
I think for one of T's games, we should go and dress up as VAR.
Okay. Actually, you guys should come to the game on Saturday because it's the day before my birthday.
Okay. I think we can
So-
do that.
Yeah.
Perfect. We will figure that out, dear. It's international break, so why not? And then we'll just stand there on the sideline the whole time and make a box. And
VAR and no, yes, pause. We got to look at it.
My team gets a lot of handballs, so I don't think they want to do the VAR.
every time there's a missed call, we'll go, referee! VAR!
Sure money.
It doesn't work when both of your road clubs each drew, and I picked them both to win. So I'm still up $178.
We're doing that?
Yeah.
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
Teagan, did you know that 28.571429% of the time? It works 100% of the time, I bet.
That's not how math works, Teagan.
I know. Sam Graham is my father.
Draws aren't wins, is what I wrote for the Cup of Losers. So let's put that on in. T, how did your dad fare?
My father lost because of the Korean guy, further depleting my college fund. Now he's only up $653, which barely pays for one effing textbook. Hopefully he gets it together soon, or I'll be waiting tables longer than I expected. Kind of like you, Uncle Sam.
Yeah, that's kind of how it works, you know. How does it know that your father fails you regularly?
It's not surprising.
Yeah, that's it. You're gonna be a struggling waitress to go to college because your dad can. Bet it all away on.
I'm trying to go to college for free. I'm trying to go to college for free. So, hopefully I'll make him proud with that, and he doesn't have to pay for me because he got 2 other kids that he has to worry about.
There you go.
9-way parlay.
And that is your dad's great kryptonite right there. Very simple. We'll talk to Pat next week, but Kitty hit on both of her bets, betting that Luton was going to lose to both Burnley and Tottenham. So she is now at 4-3. And of course, as always, remember to gamble legally and responsibly. That is going to wrap it up, boys and girls. Hiram, any parting words?
Yeah. If you guys haven't checked out the initial episode of my sports podcast, it just streamed on Thursday, make sure you guys check out the next one. I stream every Thursday on YouTube. You can check me out on YouTube at Son of Tymian Prod. That's Son of Tymian, Tymian. I just pretty much just talk about all things sports. It's pretty much topical. Talks about like different leagues from soccer or football, American football, basketball, baseball, any sport there has a ball or any athletics, you name it, I will talk about it.
I started with your pod on and watching on YouTube. And then I watched the Commander Skins get the ever-loving shit kicked out of them by the Bears. And soon I had that on mute and just watched your thing as I just went, oh, look, another touchdown for DJ Moore.
You know what's hilarious? I called on that show that I don't see Justin Fields doing it. The one time I say that, he scores 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. He just lights it up. T, how'd you enjoy yourself?
It was fun.
Very good. You did a great job, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, very good. Much better than your father. So we'll just
10 times better.
You know, it's only a matter of time. We'll just get rid of him and you'll take over the show. We'll be good. That's going to wrap it up for here. Next up is injury time, where we're not going to preview any of the next week's action because it's the international break, but we are going to check in on our adopted club Ibs. We're going to check in on fantasy, and we're also going to talk about the beers that we've been drinking. Mel, should somebody want to find injury time, how they go about doing it?
Well, if you're going to go through it the old way, then just go to patreon.com/DU Football Show. But let's be honest, you're not going to do that. So take your little index finger, scroll right on down. Third link, click on that, and give us some money.
Very good.
I'm just being blunt this time. Not sugarcoating it.
Till next week, everybody.
Fucking dumpster fire.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston.
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Stuff of my lord. Looks great in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
Brooklyn United! Brooklyn United! Hit the fucking mute button!